Good morning, everybody. Morning, 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 morning. It's freezing in my house this morning. I was freezing all night long. Of course, I sleep naked, so maybe that's why I was freezing. But my big down comforter was just not keeping me very happy last night. For whatever reason, I was freezing. Hey, good morning, Trey. I'm just making small talk right this very second. Hey, good morning, Addison. Okay, so, yeah, I'm freezing. I'm just like laying there and trying to warm up and so freaking cold. And I got up this morning and I opened up my bedroom door, and as soon as I walked out of my bedroom, it felt like I was in the Bahamas. Like, my room feels like Antarctica, and the rest of the house feels like the Bahamas. What is up with that? I have no idea what was up with that. I'm now cold again anyway. Maybe it's just me, body temperature wise. But anyway, all right, small talk. There you go. Give a couple people a few moments to get on. So today's topic is that's why you can't keep love. And now I'm going to just tell you up front, that's the title. This is why, what it really is about is, have you ever noticed that, and good morning, Jason, have you ever noticed that you go out there and you do all this work, you do the physical work, you do the internal work, and you just get all this stuff going, and all of a sudden things start to manifest in your life, and you're like, woo, right? You're so excited. These things are starting to manifest. You're feeling powerful. You're feeling this, you're feeling that. And, you just got all this good shit happening all of a sudden. Or at least, I hope you have a whole bunch of good shit happening. But you have this stuff coming in, and you're like, okay, I got this figured out now. I have really put all this effort in. I have figured out the process to start to create the life that I want. I've now got, maybe more cash flow coming in. Maybe you've got like the title, this is why you can't keep love. Maybe you manifested a really great relationship into your life. You now have this great relationship in your life. All this different stuff. Whatever it is, the principles are the same here. I'm going to kind of focus in on love and relationship just because I think the majority of people are hoping to have a really loving, positive relationship out there. And, we all want our Mr. Number One, Mr. Right, and Mrs. Right, and all these different things. And we get into these situations, and like I was talking about yesterday, about, jump, but be smart about it, right? So this is like you need to take the plunge, but you want to make sure that you're not hitting the rocks, and you need to kind of think things through. Over and over again, what happens is we create what we want. We focus in on what we want. I want, like if you went through my journal, my one journal, I have like 3 journals that I work with, but my one journal I do about once a month. It's like my major creation process, and then it allows me to get out in detail all this really good stuff, right? So in there I have about relationship stuff, right? So I'm always leaning into relationship and looking at what I really want in that relationship. Well, if I just focused in on, let's say I just wanted to get married, okay? So if I just wanted to get married because I wanted somebody to share my life with, and I wanted this committed relationship, and I had certain things that I had scripted that I really wanted in this person, okay? So I really focused in on, I want to get married. What's that like? So I put this energy out, right? And I did the work here to get aligned to it. And I got aligned to it for the most part. And all of a sudden, somebody pops into my life, and he fits the bill on the outside for the most part, okay? So he fits the bill for the most part on the outside. Everything's hot and awesome and amazing, and oh my God, ooh, all that good stuff. And next thing I know, we're we're engaged. Next thing I know, like within the year, we're married and everything is perfect. And then I go down the road 18 months, 2 years, 3 years, something really, really short, not too long out there, maybe not even that long. But I am now committed. I feel happy for the most part. But as I get into this relationship that I know that I really brought into my life, and I have been so focused on the marriage, on that relationship and what that looked like I need to be married because I'm this age. I need to be married because I've never been married before. I need to be married because, you know, it's not good for a woman to just be alone. You know, I don't want to do the dating. I don't want this, right? So there's a lot of reasons why we might really look at the relationship. Most of it is, I don't want to be alone. I really need connection. I want to feel loved. I want to have a partner, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, I really don't want to move through this all by myself. So I'm focused very much on the marriage aspect and those key little things about it. But then I find myself in this relationship, and the authenticity of this person starts to come out. Who they really are starts to come out. I get a glimpse of the realistic love that I'm having. Okay? I'm getting a glimpse of that realistic love that I'm having. And things are not quite as groovy as what I might want them to be, right? There's on the list of 50 things that I have for a man that are really, really important to me. This guy's sporting like 3 of them. And that's what I got caught up on, and all of the whoo, 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 and everything. But what I was really, really wanting was, like, I just wanted to have this permanent relationship commitment, and I wanted something serious, and I wanted something dependable, and I wanted to, you know, be able to really just have this and have this look on the outside and blah, 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 blah. So I drew in this guy that had 3-4 things on my list of 50, and now I'm in this space and I'm married. And then all of a sudden he walks out. All of a sudden he walks out. All of a sudden he has an affair, and I find out about it. All of a sudden his personality inside, you know, in the relationship just switches, and it's like he becomes a completely different person. Somebody that I didn't even know is who I'm living with. Well, that's what happens when we rush into a relationship, but that is what happens when we focus in on what we are wanting and just that one little piece. So we're trying to, it's really more like a manipulation of the universe of God, you could say, where we're focusing in on just that one little thing. So the ideal of, I want to be married, I don't want to be alone, I don't want this, I don't want that, right? These little pieces. And we're not really looking at the bigger picture of it, of how it makes us feel long term, of all that, you know, like I said, I have a list of 50 things, and the majority of those things on my list of 50 things for my ideal mate are things about, you know, getting along and how he makes me feel, and how we connect, and characteristics of personality and consciousness, not probably the top 2-3 things that I've drawn in, which might be, oh, he's 6'3", and oh, he's, you know, makes maybe this much money, and oh, he loves to travel. All right. So if I pick those 3 things and that's what I focus in on, well, I might have this guy that has those 3 things, but the things that really truly matter, that really truly keep that relationship charged, ignited, and more focused on the things that are going to be long term, that can build the friendship, that can really build the love, the intimacy. It's not there. Maybe he's completely superficial, and he just does not give a shit about anything but, you know, like, well, my suit is this brand. Stuff that doesn't even matter, right? So when we direct our focus off of what we're going to get, and I got little note here, and now all of a sudden everything's flying all over the place. Okay, when we direct our focus off of what we're going to get and onto how we want to feel, this is really the space where God can kind of step in and be that co-creator with us, in more of where we're in tune and in alignment to it. And that means that we're not focused in on those three characteristics, that the main purpose of, I want to be married because I don't want to be alone anymore. No, it's not that. I don't want to, it doesn't matter if I have a ring on my finger or not. It doesn't matter how, if what the relationship overall looks like. I want somebody that I can snuggle with. I want somebody who makes me laugh. I want somebody who has a spiritual clarity that, we don't have to be in total agreement, but we do need to have, that he needs to have a certain scope, that, there is something more, something divine, that we are, that, believe in blessings and all this different stuff. All this, really focusing in on the day-to-day. How does this relationship make me feel? How does it make me feel? It makes me feel connected. It makes me so full of love and joy. It makes me feel, and just excited, and I feel at peace, and I feel like the luckiest girl on the planet, and I, all this kind of stuff. Notice all those things are feelings, like I just feel joy and happiness and gratitude, and that is just like, whoo, instead of going, I really desperately, I don't want to be alone, and I need a ring on my finger because I'm 41 years old. Time's a ticking, and this is not good. This is not good. I need to have this now. You notice that the first one is a space of need and a space of trying to fill a void in our life, where we are quick to jump into a situation that may potentially blow up, right? It might blow up in our face. And if you look out there, a lot of the times, and I see this a lot with, I would say I see this a lot with just women, but in truth, I see it with both sexes. I hear a lot about it from men talking about women, and how women really push to go to the altar very quickly and get very upset when a guy is trying to figure out where he's at on his commitment. And women go, well, we've been dating for 6 months, and we've been, and we've been really, really committed, and I really think that he likes me a lot, so why isn't he taking this to the next step? And then, like, the women will start pushing. And here's the thing, guys typically know really quick if they even want to go that direction, but for the majority, on the front side, most men will take their time a little bit. But then you have, what I see kind of coming up in society, is that I think that because we have had so much traumatizing things happen, and both the masculine and the feminine are deeply, deeply wounded at this point from each other, and just from environment in general. We have a lot of really in pain men out there as well, because one of the things that I have seen repeatedly is that, men are starting to go, oh, we went on 5 dates, let's take it to the next level. Oh, we've been dating for 3 months, let's move in together, let's get serious, let's do this, let's do that. Oh, we've been, seeing each other for 4 or 5 months, 6 months, I want to marry you. And what happens is they've kind of, for either side, whichever you're on, man or woman, what we do is, if we're really focused in on, the only thing is that we just don't want to be alone anymore, okay, because that's the main goal in this, right? Don't want to be alone anymore. Then what happens is that we find somebody who fits that bill, those 3-4 characteristics, right? Like, ooh, okay, that's a shiny new toy right there. And what happens with shiny new toys? we go out and we really focus in on shiny new toys, and then we figure out like, okay, well, I'm not really that much into that toy, or all of a sudden the toy breaks, or something happens where it's just not all that, we lose interest. And it's because we're only focusing in on this one thing. I don't want to be alone. And oh, you appear to have a lot of what I'm looking for, right? A lot of what I'm looking for. And you have to be careful with this, because sometimes, and sorry, all Christian people out there that are like diehard Christians. Here's the thing about this is that, like, because I have, thinking about like 4 different people right now. They're going to shoot me if they see this, but oh well. In the dating world, what I have heard over and over again is, oh, well, she is at least a Christian. Well, let's just take it, if we were looking at just spiritual community, because spiritual community doesn't want to typically be with a diehard Christian, because there's such spiritual, boom, boom. And let's say somebody is Buddhist, let's say somebody really just believes in, just an open, broad spectrum of spirituality and stuff. So they're going to all these different events, and they're like, well, at least she goes to all the same events that I go to. At least she believes in universal love, and that love is the answer, okay? If that's the only thing you're basing the relationship on, and you're gonna miss it, okay? You're gonna miss that whole person, because you can't base somebody's whole characteristics, their core, on what they are proclaiming to be in one belief structure, okay? And then the other thing there is that, think about it. Do you really get to know somebody really well enough that you want to put yourself in bondage in some way, or set yourself up in a situation where you can't escape it very easily? Because let's face it, we get into situations, if we move into a house with somebody, if we commit and go 100% balls to the wall in with this person, if we put a ring on their finger, or we accept a ring from them, or we say I do, these are all very big commitment, connection things that put us together like this, even have legal contracts attached, right? So do you really want to have this kind of attachment that's going to take so much more to get out of than it might be worth, even, and all the heartache and the pain and the trauma that goes with it, and also the loss in time that you're having, just because you're like, no, I'm this age, clock's ticking, I need this to happen, I need to be in a committed relationship, I need to be this, I need to be that, need, I don't want to wake up alone, I don't want to live this life alone, I don't want to do this alone, blah, blah, blah. Do you notice how it's all focused on, I have a void, I'm not comfortable with that void, so I'm going to get somebody else to go and fill that void for me, so that I can breathe, and oh, you look like a great choice, and I don't really want to take the time to look, I don't want to really take the time to fill this void right now on the inside of me that is always going to be there until I fill it inside myself first, so I can then attract the person that really matches me in more than just 3 or 4 ways on my list, but really, really, truly matches me. And we just jump into it and we go, oh, I think your puzzle piece kind of fits pretty much if I like cram it in right, and then all of a sudden you get down 6 months later, a year later, and you find out that this person that you really, really connected to is not who you think they are. Not who you think they are. Now granted, sometimes this takes more than 6 months or a year time, but in general, when we steadily go into something and just jump off that cliff and we don't look and we're just focused on what we think we're wanting, that desired picture outcome, and not really truly on how everything inside of us is making us feel. Because I can tell you what, there are red flags going off left and right. When we do things like this, there are red flags going off left and right inside of us. We're going to be in a state of anxiety. We're going to just feel like off. We're not going to be and totally excited. We may have moments of excitement, but we're not going to be charged and feeling peaceful, feeling relaxed, feeling totally in love, feeling completely embraced, knowing all this different stuff. We're going to be kind of walking on like emotional, spiritual, mental eggshells, you could say, around different things. We're going to notice that things are not quite right in this creation that we are trying to do, because we're so focused on that. And what we're doing in that is that when we are really focused on our neediness, and we may not even realize that we're focused, that void, that real neediness, it is that we're really manipulating the energy in that moment, and we are basically going for the quick fix. And we may still focus that desire. We may still create that desire. We may still create that desire that we're so focused in on, but it's not likely to last because we have not done the internal work at that point to, remember I was talking about the match, we haven't filled that void inside of ourselves, and that void is nothing more than a sensation of feeling. How much do you love yourself? What is your worthiness like? Do you really truly feel worthy of having a relationship like what you really want? Do you really truly feel worthy of having this unconditional love, this passion, this fun, this enjoyment, this excitement, this connection, just all of this different stuff? Do you feel worthy of that? Do you love yourself and you don't need somebody else to go, I love you? Because you just love yourself. It's okay. Whether somebody else loves you or not, you understand that that's for them, and that their love ultimately is not going to truly ever really affect you, because the only way you can ever experience love is just like self-esteem. Nobody else can give you self-esteem. Self-esteem is an inside game. Love is an inside game. Worthiness is an inside game. These are the things that are those voids, those spaces of emptiness. When we look at relationship, and here's a really good question to ask yourself, how are you at being alone with yourself? Can you just be alone with yourself? Or do you have to entertain the space when you are alone with yourself? Meaning, do you have to have the radio on? Do you have to be watching TV? Do you have to be playing, doing something on the computer? Do you have to do all this stuff? Or could you just like go camping all by yourself and have a blast and really just come back going, wow, that was one of the best trips ever? Can you laugh at yourself? Can you really just go, oh my gosh, yes, I just did that. It's just like, okay, not a big deal. I guess I need a sip of coffee. Can you say that you truly, ultimately feel whole and complete? Or are you looking for your other half? Because there's no such thing as the other half. You have to be a whole, complete person so that you can attract another whole, complete person. Because if you get two broken people together, you're still broken. You're still missing pieces. There's still a void. There's still all this stuff that neither one of you are going to be able to fill for yourselves, because you're both broken. And when you enter a relationship broken, you're going to constantly be working on those broken pieces, and that's where a lot of trauma and drama and pain comes from in a relationship. When you have two whole, complete people, or very close, because I don't think that we're ever up 100% whole, complete. As long as we're alive and stuff, we are working on our stuff. But you can really work on filling those voids and being a heck of a lot more whole and complete and at peace and in love with yourself than what, unfortunately, the majority of the world is, because the majority of the world refuses to lean into those voids, into those empty spaces, because it's so uncomfortable to say, I have an emptiness inside of me. I have an emptiness inside of me. I have a pain inside of me. I have this wound. I feel broken in this way. I want somebody else to just come along and stick their tape on me and go, oh, we're fine, and now we're stuck together, and now, ooh, we're all good, and woo, yeah, and I'm going to forget about it for a while because it's going to feel really, really good on a friend's side. So that's going to allow me to forget how broken I feel because I feel like you complete me. You complete me. Oh, how wonderful. And when their brokenness comes out and starts mirroring your brokenness, you're going to find out that you're not two broken people in a committed relationship, maybe, and that now you have all of this drama that is, starting to and getting into this toxic situation with somebody. So the other reason, before I go here, the one reason that you don't get to keep the love that you might create is that you've manipulated the universe because you focused in on the neediness and on that one just desire of, I just want to get married, okay? You did not focus in on the true characteristics of somebody and the long-term situation, how you want to feel long-term, but in the focus of, I don't want to be alone, I want to be married, versus I want to feel in love, happy, joyous, and, just complete, and allow this to manifest before you actually pull in somebody, okay? And then the other thing is, it's the same line, but a little bit different view of it. And that comes down to that you have not earned it yet. Now, I know I just said, you have to feel worthy, you have to do this, all this different stuff. Well, you haven't earned it yet. And when you haven't earned it, means that you haven't done your internal work. You're more than worthy of the relationship that you want. You're more than worthy of any desire that you want. You deserve it. It's already out there. It's waiting for you. It just wants you to come and open your arms up and receive it and say yes to it. But the way you receive it and say yes to that ideal fit, the ideal match, so that you don't lose it, is to do the internal work. And you have to do the internal work, and you have to operate from this state of certainty that, yes, this feels good, that's fun, that's nice, that's pretty, that's this, that's that, that's hot, that's a turn on, right? I'm enjoying this moment, I'm enjoying that moment. But you have to get right about really recognizing also the red flags, right? The red flags in other people, the red flags in yourself. You have to make sure that you are doing, because here's what is a match. If you want to have this, you got, like, I talk about my list of 50, I don't think it's really 50 things, but I talk about a list of 50 with a guy, right? So if you have a list of 50 things, look at those list of 50 things in that ideal mate. Look at that list of 50 things, and then go through and ask yourself, like, what do I bring to the table? What on this list do I bring to the table? How do I match this person? Would this person want to be with me? Would this person actually want to live the rest of their life, or at least a very nice long season of their life with me, and go and do the things that I want to go do? With this, do I actually pass on the bar to call in this relationship, or do I need to ante it up here a little bit, step up my game, and do this work to actually be the person that this person won't want to give the time of day to? And a lot of the times what we find out is that when we pull in somebody that has those 2, 3, 4 pieces, right? They have the cover, but the book is shit or just empty, right? What that is that we have just enough of the characteristics to pull in the cover. But if we want to get into the depth, if we want to get into the realness, the authenticity of that relationship, then we have to actually go do our depth work, our internal work. We have to do that stuff inside of ourselves to really become that match. So if you want a person that is, let's say you want, all right, so one of the things on my list, I'll be point blank honest here, one of the things on my list is that I know that ultimately the long-term relationship of my dreams and desires, this guy has to be in control of his own time. He has to be in control of his own time, and he's going to have to make a decent amount of money because I love to travel, and I have set my life up with I don't live Monday through Friday. I don't live 9 to 5. I don't get told what to do by anybody. I don't have a boss. I am my boss. I script my own time. So to ultimately be with somebody who has that has no goal of ever doing that, or has, maybe they make great money but they just don't, so they can travel with me, we can go do these things, we can have that lifestyle, we can go and we can do charity work, we can do all these different things that I want to do. And the money isn't the aspect, but the time commitment is the aspect. So he can't say yes to my crazy ass going, hey, you want to go to, let's go down to Peru in 3 weeks from now, and let's go do this, and let's go hike and down in Peru, and I want to explore that, or you know what, I was looking at this trip here, or I want to go do mission work here, and blah 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 blah. If you looked at my calendar, I have like all these different things that my goals for the year already, like they're coming together, and that's what I live for, is being able to just take off and go. Like, I love that. That is the adrenaline rush of no other adrenaline rush, is that I am just in charge of my own time and I can go do whatever the heck I want when I want. Boom. And if I have a partner that maybe he fits the physical look bill, maybe he's got the sex drive that I want, but he has to tell me no all the time, and I have to skim back my life experience to match where he's at, and I have to sit there and go, well, can you ask for an extra 3 days off, from work, or can you take sick leave from work, or can you do this, or can you do that? It's not going to work. Long term, it will not work, because that person, bless him, that great person, great guy, but if he's not in control of his own time, if he's not at that state of freedom to make those judgment calls and those decisions, and it can really match me and come together and be my teammate on that particular point, then I'm going to go, all right, I don't want to travel alone. I want to travel with somebody else. Now, if I'm going and I'm having to find other people to travel with, when I really want to have not only just this fantastic travel experience, but I also want it to be romantic and playful and create this intimacy and do all this different stuff, and he's not able to do that, then is he ultimately an ideal match for me? If I have to tame down my light, if I have to tame down my joy, if I have to reel in who I am to meet him over here in this space of containment that he is in, then ultimately we're not a match. We're not a match. It's not going to work, no matter how great his cover is. Okay? So think about that right there, because those scenarios pop up in our life all the time, especially when we're out there dating. Maybe we jumped into this situation I'm talking about, and you find yourself with a partner that really doesn't enjoy anything that you enjoy. You come together in the evenings and you have a little chit chat, but ultimately you're agreeing or desire for life, or the things that you want to experience and go do, or how you just, maybe you still feel a void when you're snuggled up next to your partner. I mean, think about those things. I'm not trying to break anybody up, by my goodness sakes, no. But what I am asking you to do is to really explore that void inside yourself, and realize that the void, until it is filled for the most part by just you, and you get that figured out, that you're always going to end up losing whatever comes into your life on this topic of love, of relationship. Okay? Fill the void yourself so that you can attract somebody who is pretty much filled up themselves, so that you are now walking together in that more state of completion. So two complete, in love with themselves people can offer each other so much more joy, so much more peace, so much more bliss than two broken people that are trying to look for the other one to fill their void for them. Okay? And that's really really, really what the topic is. I want you to also realize I picked on love. I picked on love. This is as much true if you are looking to fill your bank account, if you are looking for the ideal job, if you are looking for the your health to change, if you are looking for whatever it is. It does not matter what that desire is. If you are coming at it from a place of this void, of this emptiness inside yourself, you have to go back to creating those feelings that you want right now and having them right now and really, really enjoying them right now, even though you don't have this outside thing that you're claiming that you really want. When you focus on that outside thing, that marriage, that perfect job, that, like, okay, I'm fully healed. What does it feel like to be fully healed? What does it feel like? How do you feel inside? I'm not talking about what you physically can do if you're fully healed. I'm talking about, how does it feel like? Do you feel really good? Do you feel like I have health and I have energy and vitality and I'm not stressed out about this and I'm not stressed out? I mean, go there, experience that, and your body is going to start to give you that, which means that you will start to naturally heal. And if you're in some process, because I know that there's a lot of people, I have a couple clients that are going through this right now, and it really is that you've got to feel the health inside yourself, feel the vitality inside yourself, and you will be blessed with your actual physical body giving you exactly the physical result of that. If you want financial abundance in your life, what does it feel like to have financial abundance? Can you imagine your life without the stress? Would you look at your bank account every single morning and be like, oh man, I only have this in there, oh damn, this bill went through, or oh, I'm this short or that short? You probably wouldn't. You probably would just wake up and enjoy your morning and just go on about life, and it would be like, oh yeah, and you would not be, would you look, what side of the menu would you be looking at? Would you, when you go through a menu, would you be scanning for the cheapest object on there? And you're like, okay, what do I want to eat? Oh, well, I can only afford this, so anything over that, I'm not buying. Or would you just look at the menu and get what you want? You probably look at the menu and just get what you want. Doesn't that feel good? That feels good to just get what you want. I am craving this, therefore, oh look, it's right here. Yum, that sounds good. Ooh, I like the ingredients of that. Oh, I've never tried that before. That sounds really good. Yum, 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 right? That feels good. But what do? We focus in on the lack. We focus in on the lack. We focus in on, I want this, and oh my gosh, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. And what do you get? You might feel it for a second. You might feel it for a second. And then it goes away. Whether it's love, whether it's money, whether it's health, whether it's time, relationship, you name it. If you keep having shit blow up on you and you can't hold it on that path, then you're focusing on the lack and on the outside, on the book cover of it, and not on the feeling and the sensation that it actually brings to you. So there you go, guys. That's why you can't keep the love that you want in your life. That's why things blow up. That's why it's ooh la la on the front side and then holy shit on the back side. So realize that. Go ask yourself those questions. Tap into the feelings. Fill that void. Work on the void inside yourself first, and come at things from that state of completion and fullness inside, so that you can actually attract completion and fullness, love, joy, bliss, all that yummy good stuff that we want. If you're looking at that you don't have it, you're going to continue to not have it. Okay. I love you guys. As always, if you have it in your heart, hit the little share button on this video for me. Facebook is still changing all their stuff. There's more views on everything again, which is nice. Things are going up. But yeah, please take a moment to hit the share button on this Conscious Coffee. And if you have the time, go to my website. Yesterday I put out an article all on kind of like what we're talking about here. It's focusing, I give 3 different tips to really help you build your worthiness. And the title of the article is You're Right, You Don't Deserve It. So if for some reason you're watching this and it's weeks or months past after this fact, then just type in the little search engine, You're Right, You Don't Deserve It. And that article really does come into play with this particular conscious coffee. And if you scroll back through a few conscious coffees, like a week and a half ago, I did a conscious coffee called Core of Worthiness, which goes right along with this one as well. So really start to look at that. And then there's also Love Like Diamonds, which plays into this conscious coffee as well, and that's on the conscious coffees. But these three together really make up this set, you could say, as far as that creation and tapping into these voids and filling them, and things that we can do to help ourselves feel more full and complete and in a state of bliss. So we're just opening up to more bliss, and we're just like, yes, 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 yes. Oh, thank you, Addison. Thank you, thank you. Oh, there, Addison just posted the link to the article. So, okay, love you guys, bless you guys. Go have a fantastic, amazing day, and I will catch you guys tomorrow around 6 a.m. ish with another conscious coffee. Bye.